Welcome back to VDVRE Arcade. In today's video, Fred, Eddie the Eagle, and I are just doing a 21 subscriber update video for people that might have missed some recent releases and to give people an idea of what's coming on down the pipe. Summer's a busy time for all of us. It's the busy season for me with my sign company, so it takes a little bit more time for me to get videos out that are technical and really involved. So I figured I'd start doing updates like this to give people an idea of where things stand and what they have to look forward to down the line. So with that, let's get moving. Okay, so some current videos that I released within the last couple weeks that you might have missed because they're not the biggest bangers like this one here. My brake line comparison video with the TLCMs is by far the most popular video I've ever done, with the most probably relevant video because I have that gear. It made sense for me to do it, and I didn't see anything out there. So I appreciate the people that are viewing it. It's approaching 1,000 views, which for me is a ton load, but in the grand scheme isn't. But for me, it's a big deal. So I do appreciate the people that have clicked on it and watch it and continue to watch it. And I just want to say that if it reaches a certain milestone, then I am probably going to do something special for the community, and I will release a video on that, and everybody can take a look at what that is. We'll see how long it takes, but that's in the pipeline if I reach the milestone. Can't say anymore because promotional stuff, but that's that. So let's move on to some of the other current videos that I have and go from there. So a couple recent videos that I just released that aren't the bangers that I just talked about previously is the comparison video I have here. Not meant for the high-end people, meant for more entry-level people, but because I didn't see any information out there. And it breaks it down a little bit more in depth than just your overused gloss over type of, oh, the buttons are better, this is nicer, that's nicer. Gives you some dimensions, some graphs, some breakdowns, and some technical data, and it's really for the newbie. If you have this and you're wondering what this is about, might help you make a decision on whether or not you even want to buy it or move on to a different wheel. That is really what it's there for. There's a little VR section. I do plan on making a more in-depth VR video involving the GT wheel now that I've come to some of the other plans that I have involved with this that I'll discuss in a minute. But with that, that's really ultimately what the video is about. It's my first kind of animated, storyline kind of video, a little more playful because the subject matter wasn't the greatest, so I tried to doctor it up another way to keep people entertained. So check it out. You might get some laughs on some of the stuff, some of the animated stuff throughout the video. And yeah, it's all broken down into timestamps, so you can skip whatever. But you might get a laugh out of that if you like it, if you haven't seen it or whatever. I know it might not be the subject matter that you want, but it's there. It's fun. And, it's what I've got. So that's what I make videos on. So with that, let's move on. All right, so my latest video is the magnetic mod video that I did because I wanted to fix the paddles for the GT wheel, which I think my mod does. Now, this video right here goes over it a little more in depth on my reasoning and what caused me to do this myself or make this mod, but I think it turned out so good and it enhances the paddles so much and so well that I decided I would make it a product people are able to buy. Whether you buy it or not doesn't matter to me. I really don't give a shit if you want the honest truth. I'm not going to make enough money on this to get rich and retire or anything. I'm just trying to offer a solution that I came up with to people who may not have the skills 3D printed and make something themselves, and a solution that I think is better than anybody else's on the market for people. And that's what I truly believe. If you want more information on it, you can check here. They're available for $19.99 on eBay again, and that's it. So that's that video. Let's move on to a different topic here. Okay, so now we've got my most current videos out of the way. Where am I at with the H2 to H4 upgrade series? One of the things kind of slowing that down a little bit is getting all the game data I need for my DOF H2, because I'm doing a comparison 10 game spread video once I get my H4 together, and I need to get all the H2 data first because it's going to be 10 games, the same level, with the H2 and then with the H4, and what are the differences? How did it feel? What do the platforms feel like? How are they moving? What was the sensation feel like when you were doing this part with the H2 and then you were doing this with the H4? So I want to do that video for people, so I need to capture that first, because once I take this apart, it ain't going back together. It's a shit ton of work, and I'm doing it one time. One time. So that's kind of delaying it, but I have not been doing anything. I've been working on the graphics. I have the graphics for the base pretty much completely done. And if you're good, I'll show you a little tease with a full reveal when I'm done with the series at the end of this video. So I have been working on it, and I am now shifting to that being the main video that's coming in the pipeline. I have some secondary videos that this video will discuss that I'm now working on as well outside of the H2 to H4 series. But that is the main one that I'm breath, because I want to move into getting my motion platform put together now. I've had my little bit of feel with playing with the GT wheels. This video will show you. So it's time to move on to the next step and get my H4 up and running so that I can start presenting information on that as well for people. So with that, let's move on to some of the other topics I want to cover in this update. Okay, so another video that I am working on and have actually been working on but needed the H4 to really complete it, so that's why I've been holding off, is my win kit video for the H2, H3, and H4 Dof Reality motion simulators. What I'm holding in my hand is a redone prototype. It's done now, but was a prototype, and it's the rear venting pipe that runs along your frame and puts the air to the back port. The difference between this one and the one that I did originally is this has a plastic elbow that curves, where my old one was aluminum to aluminum and welded, but it was a 90. This allows the air to flow better and increases the wind speed. It'll be going on when I get my H4 put together, and that's when I'll be producing the video for this. So just so everybody knows, this video will be coming down the pipe too once I get that series done. And I think that's one that people might be interested in, because it's a compact, nice design wind kit system that you can get to add to your existing fans and allow you to get rear venting, center venting, and it really doesn't take much away from the front vents ultimately. So with that, that's another video that I've got coming down the pipe for everybody that falls in line with the motion simulator leg of what I'm working on. So let's move on to the GT wheel leg of what I'm working on. Okay, everybody, let's talk about the new video series that I'm going to be launching, and it's going to revolve around the GT wheel, because when I was working on this, kept looking at this and noticed and realizing that I could take the rim off, it just piqued another idea in my interest. It's just how I am. A little voice in my head for 2 weeks whispering, take the wheel off, digitize the plate, make a pattern. Come on, man, you can make a wheel. You know you want an F1 wheel. Come on, make one. Bolt it on there. See what it's like. You got the skills. And after 2 weeks of that, I broke down and did exactly that. Took the screws off, patterned this out, created a file in Illustrator that now I can route on my CNC machine. The only thing I got to do now is come up with the rim designs. That doesn't matter what type of wheel, because I've got the base interface. It works, it fits, everything lines up, and we're good to go. So I'm halfway there. So I decided I'm going to make the F1 wheel that I wanted, and that's what I started with. Here is my very first prototype of the F1 wheel. I like a look like this more so than some of the other looks you see here, for instance. I don't care much for this design. I like these designs a little bit better. So I kind of went with something like that along those lines. I like to have a split bottom design versus something connected on this one per se. It's just the design I want to go with. I do like the kind of bent top a little bit, but with some you can have it connected to here, and while I wouldn't mind having a similar shape that connects here, this design just doesn't allow for that. So you design within the constraints you have ultimately, and this is kind of what I like. Now it's going to be a lot more stylized, a lot more finished. It's not just going to be one solid same size piece all the way out. This is just your basic preliminary grip test, because I needed to know, how is my placement of everything feel? Does the grip right? Because this is ultimately a guesstimation until I got this printed. I'm happy to report that I think how I chose to place these, how I chose to do this and make this, and where I put this on where the grip goes, was awesome. I think I hit the nail on the head. It feels pretty good. It feels like I don't need to move that part at all. And that should speed up development a little bit and help out. It feels solid right there. Now, I think I do need to adjust some stuff in here. And it's a long road, of course, because it's going to be made with an aluminum plate and some TPU for rubber grip to have something with the finished product along these lines. But right now, the plate just kind of ends here, but I'm going to be changing it. Instead of having a heavier, more robust piece of plastic per se for strength purposes, I'm just going to have the steel plate follow along inside here and have a sandwich type system that sandwiches it and then gets wrapped with the TPU. And that way it's a stronger overall system with aluminum inside for like a core. And I want to go that route. So I'm going to go back into the computer, change that, start changing the design prototype to accommodate that, and then along the way do all the other things that I want to do. So this is the first wheel in that series. I plan on doing a hypercar wheel. I plan on doing a rally wheel, and I'm going to look and see if maybe a fourth wheel is worthwhile. But those two, along with this one, will be the ones that I'm going to do for sure in this series. So if that's something that might seem interesting to you, you're more than happy to subscribe if you want. I don't ask. That's the easiest way to know when I drop videos like this, other than just checking back time to time. It's up to you what you want to do, but that is a series I'm going to now be working on. The reason why I decided to do this versus buying like the Evo series or whatever else is a couple reasons. One, it's fun to do for me. I get to choose my own aesthetics and design to an extent, and I can finish them to a quality that's pretty close to what you'd be able to buy, I think, with what I'm capable of doing. So I think it's good enough to where I'd be happy with the finished product and not spending the money. The other thing is ultimately that I saved the money buying 3 or 4 wheels, and I can buy something else, like a PT actuator for my motion. And that's how I work it. Build the wheels, save the money there, and use this interface and spend that money on something else that gives me more immersion. And the other final reason is because when I was playing with this in VR, I realized how actually easy it is to use. I always thought that in VR these would be hard to deal with, so it was not worth really having. But when I did my comparison video here, you can see that here again, that I realized it's a lot simpler than you think. You know what I mean? When you're blind, you're like, I would be like, oh, change my gas a little bit. Oh, I need my brake balance. Oh, no, yeah, oh, traction. Okay, oh, you know, and it wasn't hard at all. So for me, I want to be able to use this if I'm doing rally. I want to be able to use it no matter what kind of racing I'm doing. You know, whether there's better wheels out there for that, F1 and whatever, I'm sure there are, but sometimes like the ones with the screens just aren't going to be as useful for someone who races in VR, and that's the way I'm going to race. I'm never going to race in a 3-screen, never going to race in a screen. I'm just not going to do it. I want to play in VR. That's what I'm always going to be doing, if I can. So ultimately, those are the reasons why, and this is my very early first prototype, you know. So when it's done, it'll be all aluminum here, you know. This will be a lot more refined and look a lot nicer, have TPU and, you know, some other stylings. I've got ideas percolating, so stay tuned for this video series. Now, one last thing I do want to say before I show you the little teaser of the graphics for the H2 to H4 series base I just did is this. All right, everybody. So final just announcement for DOF is having a 12-year sale on their gear. So if you're interested in a DOF rig, you can save anywhere from I think $150 to $400 on their non-professional H2, H3, H4 series. You can also get them with simwithmotion.com. His YouTube channel is Get Your Game On. He has them in the United States locally. If you're local in the United States, I looked on both. It looks like the prices are pretty much the same. The discount is the same across the board. So you should be able to get it for roughly the same price ultimately. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say because I got that across my deal, and since it's kind of an update video and just telling people about stuff that's going on, figured I would just mention that sale for anybody who's interested in motion. So with that, I'm going to close this video out, but without further ado, I'll show you a little teaser of the graphics I did for my base cover in my H2 to H4 series. All right, there you go. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below what you think about the wheel. Let me know what you think about what I showed you in the graphics. I'll do a full reveal when I get it all put together in the final H2 to H4 upgrade videos. So stay tuned, and I'll keep plugging away to keep you guys entertained. Again, I appreciate the 21 subscribers for the 21 subscriber update video, first ever. It's going to be a new thing I do to keep people a little more informed. So I hope you enjoyed the first one I've done. And until the next time, everybody, Fred, Eddie the Eagle, and me, Peter V, have fun gaming.